folks. It was a day that we all have been waiting for. The game number one for the Raiders here in Southern California, taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. It was our first opportunity to see Josh McDaniels in his first game, Davante Adams along with Derek Carr, and that offense that has been so highly touted in the preseason without even having a snap together. They took on Justin Herbert and the Chargers, a team that they're going to have a tough time with in the AFC West. All right, getting to the game, you know it's the second home of the Silver and Black here in SoCal. There are more Raider fans here inside of SoFi than Charger fans. First play of the season, first play of the game for the Raiders. Carr would find Davante Adams for an 11-yard pickup. In fact, Carr hit 1-7 three times on the first drive of the game, and that led to a Daniel Carlson field goal that would tie things up at 3. From there, folks, it was Justin Herbert and the Chargers outscoring the Raiders 14-0 in the second quarter. Both of the LA touchdowns were off that rocket arm from Herbert. He was really good in this game. 279, 3 touchdowns, no picks. And the Chargers had themselves a 17-3 lead at the half. In the second half, the Raiders would start with the rock, and they would go 5 plays, 75 yards, with a major chunk of that coming from Davante Adams. 41 yards from DC, a completion that saw Tay run one of the best routes that you'll ever see, really just spinning around that DB. The drive would finish with Carr throwing to Brandon Bolden 18 yards. 17-10, the Silver and Black were down, but they're back in business. Fourth quarter, the Raiders continued to try to make this furious comeback. Carr would find Davante Adams for his first touchdown in the Silver and Black, 3 yards. Adams with a beautiful catch. He had a fantastic game. 10 catches, 141 yards, and that touchdown. The Raiders would go for a 2-point conversion that would be no good, so Vegas down 24-19 late in the fourth quarter. And they would stay in contention in this game because of their defense. Nate Hobbs in his second season, he was really good in this game. On third down, forcing the Chargers to punt with a beautiful defensive play. The Raiders would actually get the ball back with 3:30 remaining and an opportunity to win this game. But, folks, there's always a but. The drive would stall really before it even got going. Former Raider Khalil Mack, who was all in Derek Carr's pocket the entire game, would get his third sack of the game on fourth down, and that would end things. The Chargers win this thing 24-19. Carr really didn't have the best game of his life. 295, 2 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions, but it was still fun to get out there and work with Davante Adams moving forward.
Yeah, we did some good things. We hit on a lot of things, and there's also some things that him and we were just talking about in the locker room. The way I see it, the way he sees it, and we're trying to make that better too. So yeah, we had production, but I think that we can be better, and so does he. And but it's exciting to get out there and play with him and have him in the mix of Hunter and Darren and Mac and all in the backs and all those guys. So having him out there, it wasn't first play I go right to him, and it wasn't like some big celebration. It was just like, all right, well, next time, next one. I've thrown him thousands of footballs in my life, and so it's exciting to play with him. But he'll tell you, like, we just want to win, and so we'll turn the film on, and I'll be better about making too aggressive decisions when I don't have to.
I think you saw it today. It's a lot of good things we did out there. Obviously, could have connected on even more. I think there's more opportunities out there, but it's the first week. That doesn't dictate a whole lot. Obviously, you want to come out the gate as strong as possible and put yourself in a good position to kind of feed off of that going into the next week, obviously. But I don't think anybody in here is too rattled by it. It's obviously would have been better with a W today, but a lot of good stuff to feed off of and just use that momentum that, any of that we can moving forward.
So it was a big day for a Vegas professional sports team, particularly Mark Davis as his Raiders. They lose their season opener. Let's find out how the Las Vegas Aces did in the first game of the WNBA Finals versus the Connecticut Sun. For more on that, got to toss it to Jesse. What you got?
Yeah, Brian, this is a day that we've all been waiting for quite some time here in Vegas. The Aces locking up the top seed throughout the year and rewriting the record books on their way to their second finals appearance in the last 3 years. But that last one was out in the bubble, so you know that they were ready for this one and could not wait to get their shot to host the finals game. And the house was lit from start to finish. A record crowd of 10,135 in attendance, and the Aces kept them on their feet right out of the gates, going on a 12-5 run to start the game. But the second quarter was another story. The Aces scored just 9 points, and Connecticut took full advantage, taking a 4-point lead into the half. And as you can imagine, Becky was lit at the half. The ladies responded in the second after taking the lead. Asia showing why she is the Defensive Player of the Year and the MVP. The block on one end and the bucket on the other to get the house back on their feet, and it is 59-55 Aces, but with under 40 to play, Aces still up 5. Gray with the dish. Plum can't handle it, and Connecticut takes it the other way to cut the lead to 3 with just 34 seconds to play, so things are getting interesting. Final possession here. Sun looking for a bucket to tie it and send us to OT, but the Aces were not having it. The defense slammed the door shut, and Vegas takes a 1-0 lead in this series with a 67-64 win and a knockdown drag-out Game 1.
They went very big, and we just kind of sat in that zone and just mucked it up. And I thought just bringing a lot of bodies and congestion, but I thought she got some deep touches. I thought our pick and roll defense was problematic on the backside, not initially, where, and we'll go through some stuff, but schematically we handled the pick and roll better, which helped us in the paint second half.
I think we were working our way from the paint and out. A lot of times they were getting the ball in the paint. They were getting second chance points. Jackie mentioned it, like the guards got to come in and get some rebounds. There were a couple key rebounds where Kelsey came up and got some rebounds. Jackie followed it by the elbow, got some long rebounds that they were getting in the first half. And so we were able to get stops and rebounds. And that's always key. They feed off of that. That's their energy booster when we're turning over the ball and when they're offensive rebounding. So we clamp down there and make them take outside shots and not get too much into a flow.
So the Aces not completely happy with how they played, but at the end of the day, all you got to do is get the dub, and they did just that. Game 2 right back here at the house on Tuesday night. For now, though, let's get it back to you.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. The Aces have a 1-0 series lead in their best-of-5 series with the Connecticut Sun. Game number 2 is, of course, on Tuesday at Michelob Ultra Arena. Of course, we will have all your highlights and post-game reaction for that. Hey, folks, we're going to go ahead and head to a break, but when we return, we will have more from SoFi Stadium, more from the Silver and Black as they fall in game numero uno to the Los Angeles Chargers. You are watching Sports Night. Don't turn that channel. After the game, I caught up with DC and Tay to talk to them about they're getting back on the football field again, actually playing a game for real, and whether or not it was like riding a bike. Here's what they had to say.
I came in with a very aggressive mindset, and especially with all the weapons we have and all that kind of stuff. And on the one to Tay in the end zone, he beat his guy. I went and threw it, and the guy just, as I threw it, fell off of the other way. I mean, that kind of crap is going to happen sometimes, but I can make a better throw maybe, try and be better there. But I think we showed signs of doing some stuff really well, and I think Tay ran a good route at the end. I was getting ready to throw it, but I just couldn't. I had to try and move and find somebody else, there. But we had a chance, which is exciting. But there's no silver lining, we lost. We're 0-1. But so are 16 other teams after tomorrow, and we're not going to overly freak out, but we are going to correct and demand more from myself, more from everybody, and we go back to work. Whether we won that game or not, we're moving on and trying to get better. That's the process that we believe in, and that's what I believe in.
Definitely could have made a better play on that. I kind of wanted to wait and let it, drop into the basket, and I mean that guy made a great play. He kind of fell off of the corner late and ran back there. I didn't think he'd get there that quick, and then he made a good play. But I could have helped Derek out on that for sure, coming back to it. I thought he bumped into me a little bit, but if I would have come back to the ball a little bit better, I think it would have been a little bit more obvious for the ref to be able to call it. But can't let opportunities like that slip away. We got to maximize those because all camp we have, we've made those plays, and I felt really good about it, and I still feel really good about it. That play doesn't change anything, but definitely a lot that I could have done on that play to prevent that.
I also had an opportunity to catch up with second-year cornerback Nate Hobbs, who battled it out with Devontae Adams during training camp to get himself better. Iron sharpens iron, and that's exactly what happened with Hobbs, who had a fantastic game in game number 1 of the season. He had 6 complete tackles, and 2 of those tackles for a loss, including 1 play pass defended on a third down that gave the Raiders an opportunity to actually win this game with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's my one-on-one. Here with Nate Hobbs after game number 1. First, Nate, man, you had a couple good plays out there, man, specifically on that third down that gave you guys an opportunity to get back and win the game. What did you see on that play?
I saw Mike come out at 2, and he's not usually at 2, so I knew they was singling me up. So I knew the ball was coming to him. It was coming to me. So it was 3rd and short. So I just was like, all right, played out, and we see what happens.
Bittersweet, obviously, you guys always play to win the game, but you individually had a very good game, a couple tackles for loss and whatnot. It's finally good to get back out there and get some live bullets.
Yeah, it felt great, honestly, you know what I'm saying? Even though we couldn't come up with the win like we wanted, I feel like we showed our competitive spirit. We played to, you know what I'm saying, those 4 zeros at the clock, and that's what we need. So I think that gave us that game gives us an opportunity to grow and, you know what I'm saying, finish the year.
And as a defensive unit, I mean, to have the ball with an opportunity, 3:30 left in the game, you guys got the final stop to shut a guy like Herbert, who's, you know, obviously having a pretty good game, but to kind of shut that offense down in the 4th quarter, it's got to make you feel good as a unit.
Yeah, like I said, we just got to grow off that, though. I think we got to start faster. If we just started faster, I think the result might have been different, but that's how it went. But yeah.
Gotcha. Last but not least, I mean, obviously you guys are on the defensive side of the ball, but to get an opportunity to finally see Derek and Devontae out there, you see him doing the DBs, which you've been seeing up close and personal for like the last few weeks.
Yeah, I know DC and DA, they've been knowing each other for a while, so that connection, I think, as the year goes on, it's just going to get stronger and they're going to play better and better. So.
Appreciate you.